This is me as a baby. I know, pretty cute, right? Here's me as a 3-year-old. I'm getting a little bit older. Oh man, look at that sandcastle and those glasses. Dope. And here's the fam jam. Oh, there's me running. Did that one for a few years. First day of school. Oh, wow, that's a majestic view. And there you go. I killed a fish. And this is me last week at 22 years old. Looking back on your life, you probably have realized that you've changed a lot since when you were younger. You don't have the same values, you don't have the same preferences or likes. It's pretty obvious when you look back how much you have changed in the last 10 years. But let me ask you this question. How much do you think you're going to change in the next 10 years? If you are like most people, you probably think that who you are 10 years from now will be pretty similar to who you are now. This is called the end of history illusion. This idea was first theorized by Daniel Gilbert, who showed that despite evidence of how much we have changed in the last 10 years, people still continue to believe that in the next 10 years, they won't change very much. In other words, we are works in progress, claiming to be finished. In David Epstein's book, Range, he advocates for something that is rather countercultural to us today. Short-term planning. So many of us are keenly focused on the 5, 10, 15, or even 30-year plan for our lives. But by looking back on the past 10 or 15 years, we can see that we clearly are not the same people that we were back then. And if we think that we're going to be the same person we are now, 10 years from now, we're only fooling ourselves. Sometimes then, short-term planning and just seeking out the opportunities that are in front of you can be better than just looking at the future. So many of us imagine successful people having career paths that look something like this, when in reality, many of their career paths look a little bit more like this. A Harvard study called the Dark Horse Project also showed that this was true not only for everyday people, but for even the successful people themselves. They brought in successful people in their fields and talked to them about how they got to where they are. And a large portion of them considered themselves to be a dark horse by taking a convoluted path to where they are. But the thing is, it was actually the majority who took that winding path, and not the minority. By realizing that we are going to change, that we are not going to be the same person we are today, we can come to accept our lives looking a little bit more like this. And be glad that it looks like that, because simply the straight line wouldn't be all that interesting. I think this is succinctly summed up in a quote from Alice in Wonderland. It's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a different person then. Planning for the future is important, but don't bank on it. Take what's in front of you today and enjoy the windy path of life.